Welcome back. Fabio Oladimeji joins us next. He is the Director, Support Group and Events Technical Committee, Atiku for President 2023. Good morning and thank you for joining us virtually today on the program. Well, it appears uneasy lies ahead that wears the crown. Your principal is at the moment, well, facing a lot of hurdles. There seems to be disquiet within the political party. Many, at least it appears as such, don't seem to be pulling in the same direction with him. How is he handling all this?
Well, good morning, Chamberlain. Good morning, Nigerians, and thanks for the opportunity to be here this morning. First and foremost, I'd like to say that there's no crisis. And I say this because in politics and in every election cycle, a lot of things like this come up. And what you now notice is that as time passes by, you see almost of these things, freezing out, and then everybody will come to the table, and then we'll go into the election. It's normal, it's new. When you have an election, there must be a winner, there must be a loser, and it takes time, for that healing to really come up. I strongly believe that this is going to, come up. And for my principal that you ask, His Excellency is a veteran. Is one of the grandmasters of Nigerian politics, if not African politics. His pedigree when it comes to politics. And he understands most of these dynamics. He has no problem with most of things that are happening. Like I said, there's no crisis. See, most of the people that are talking are justified because it's all politics. That's number one. Number two, most of the concerns they raise are genuine. And His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, leader of the party today, understands most of these things. He understands the value of going into an election united. He understands the value of inclusion. So, and you can see in his statement, and that has doused so many things to let Nigerians know that there's no cause for alarm. Whether Governor Otom or any other person that have raised issues, there are genuine concerns, and we must listen to them. And that is the leadership Atiku has brought to bear. That is the engagement he understands that needs to be done. So there's no crisis. So PDP is a family, and we'll have internal mechanism with which we address most of these things. If anybody tells you that there are internal wranglings, just leave it. It will soon fizzle out.
So how do we explain where, as the governor said, if 14 people said, he set up the committee himself and then brought eminent people to help advise and choose who will be the vice presidential candidate. And majority of them, you heard the governor there say 14, then 3. Why did he decide to go with 3 as opposed to 14? So why did he set up the committee in the first place?
Okay, let me make this clarification. Atiku, His Excellency did not set up the committee, it's the party. See, the moment the candidate of the party emerges, the party takes over. But before this committee that was set up by the party, there were other consultations with the other organs of the party. These 17 wise men, they're just a fragment of the consultation that His Excellency has to do. He's a veteran in all of these things. He knows how this thing works. He consulted with the BOT, with Ministers Forum, with Governors Forum, and all of these things, there are feedback. And before that, he has set up his own 7-man or 8-man committee that drew up the list for criteria of picking a VP. Those ones who equally submitted the report. So it's only this report of the 17 wise men by the party that is being talked about. But now, Chamberlain, what I want to say is that the party has moved beyond that. We now have a vice presidential candidate, a man with fantastic profile and fantastic record of performance and achievement in the person of Ifeanyi Okowa, the governor of Delta State. We've moved beyond that, and the party is really working internally, strategically, to make sure that we face this election as a united family. So you can't take it away from those who have one or two differences to say.
Okay, but if you say the party has moved on, in the first place, if he was not happy with the committee that was set up, being a veteran, why didn't he just tell the party, look, I'm not in tune with this? Why did you then allow them go the whole hog only to thump it aside?
Timberlane, he couldn't have done that. And let me tell you, even if everybody in that committee had voted for one person, like the governor of Benue claimed. I wasn't there, but I was at the session. And
in other words, the party is not supreme. He is supreme. Is that what that means?
No, that's not it. As the candidate, he reserves the right. It's been done all over the world to pick who is comfortable to work with. And that's what Atiku has done. He reserved the right before he has it. So even if everybody in that committee has said it should be this candidate, he has the right to say, no, from my own criteria. And I just told you, he consulted other critical organs of the party. I just mentioned them. I just lined them up for you. He consulted all of them, and all of them has a view. They have a say in all of this.
So
and that's why I said,
from what the people can clearly see, you say he consulted with other critical members or organ of the party, on the one hand. And then on the other hand, these other critical members of the party voted in this way. And the other organ he consulted voted the other way or advised the other way. So that clearly shows you two distinct positions in the same party.
It's not a distinct position. I don't want you to run away from the fact that he reserves the right to pick whoever he wants to. That is the major priority. He has the right to say party. And look at this. Every committee, every consultation he made, including this committee that we talked about, recommended 3 people. And he chose one out of these 3 people. It does not mean that he doesn't respect the opinion of the committee that we're talking about. And let me quickly, I wanted to clear something before you came in. I was at the certificate presentation, to the candidate, and the national chairman of the party came up. You can play it back. He said there was no election. So, but we don't want to go into all of these things. That against the public, the news in the public, there was no election. It was a consensus build. It was a consensus. So if the consensus provided someone, all right, and other committees and constitution provided somebody else, it is left for Atiku to decide who he wants to work with. And he has done that. So that's why I said, beyond all this, the party has moved on. It's the family affair, number 1. Number 2, we have internal mechanism to resolve our crisis. And Atiku is a veteran who understands this game very well. He has no problem with Governor Wike. He has no problem with Otom. The concerns raised by these guys are so genuine, and Atiku that I know will attend to it, because what is important in all of this is the future of this country. It's not about Atiku. It's not about Wike. It's not about any other person. It's not about me. It's about the future of this country, and that is the goal. So, and that is where Atiku is focusing. So the party must focus at winning this election. APC has given us bad leadership. They have failed so abysmally, but still they want to tenaciously hold on to power. PDP must realize all these things and come together and work together. And I appreciate the fact that if His Excellency, his team and the party will quickly move, speak to all these governors. They are the assets of the party. You can't take it away from Governor Wike.
Okay.
Governor Wike is an asset to the party, just like Seyi Makinde and all of them. So we need all of them on board to be able to send this APC out and deliver Nigeria for the Nigerian people.
Well, mentioning these other critical stakeholders in the party only raises one more question, which is also in public domain, and everyone is wondering how all of that is feeding into what you're talking about. The exact position you just held now, that the PDP needs to come together, is the same thing Governor Okowa said, that everyone needs to come together. That suggests that there is something critically wrong somewhere, because that committee set up by the PDP for the next elections in Osun State, 11 governors were not there. And pulling things together, it would seem the general opinion would be perhaps some critical stakeholders in the party are clearly unhappy with a lot of things that is happening, and consequently looking at how things have happened, how things have evolved, how some kinds of injustices have been meted out to one person or the other, causing this major rift. Moving forward, how do you see this issue being resolved? You have said that the PDP is a family. Anyone would say that. We've heard that before. But with the election so close, the Osun election so close, and this kinds of divisions so rife, among pockets of people who are very prominent and critical in your party, how do you see the party moving forward?
Let me tell you, my brother, the fact that most of the governors, like you said, were not at the meeting does not mean they are not with the party on this. And that I wanted to get that clear.
11 governors Not just 2 or 3.
Because these are the people
11.
that have state matters. Let me tell you something. They have state matters to attend to. Have you ever seen any governor come out and say, this is because I'm angry with the part that they attend? Give me one governor that has come out to say that. One governor that has said, I didn't attend because I'm angry with the party. You will never, don't let us miss it.
Mr. Ladimeji, we know these things.
No, it's not
we are
true.
young enough to know that. It's not, silence doesn't always mean consent.
No. See, let me tell you, sometimes things are not the same if people are from the outside are looking at it in the party. Those of us in the party, we know how this thing works. Most of these governors they are talking about have contributed support to the election in Osun State. So what are we talking about? So how many of them have come out and say, it's because I'm angry that I'm not in this event? No, a lot of them have state matters. Some of them are not in the country. Okay, we saw a picture, flying around in the last 3-4 days where Governor Wike, Governor Ipazu, Governor Shemak, they're outside the country. How do you expect them to attend? These guys have worked so hard. They've gone around the country. They're tired and need to rest. Why would anybody say it's because they're angry with the party? It does not mean they are not with the party on the party's decision. And besides, if there's any issue, we will resolve it. The party is large enough, is big enough to resolve his own problem. So I want to disagree with you, and I don't want Nigerians to believe that there's no crack. Even if there is a crack, it will be mended, it will be resolved. That is PDP for you.
So
see,
what do you then say about the open comments, the tweets of former governor of Ekiti and several such comments?
See, Governor Fayose, most times I usually do not like to, comment on him. If I must give you my personal opinion on Governor Fayose, I will say that it's been a huge disappointment. This is a personal opinion. A huge disappointment because a leader should be seen to be more responsible. And if you want to be a leader, you must be able to lead your people to where they do not want to go. As far as I know, the party has done a lot for Governor Fayose. I was there at the party office in 2003 as the head of accounts. I knew how he came to the party. I knew what this party has done to him. He should not be seen to be the one fanning the embers of discord in this party, regardless of how he feels about anything. He's knowledgeable enough, about the political, activities in this country to know what to say at what time. Even if he has another interest, he would rather come out and say, I'm not more in PDP, instead of fanning all these embers.
So he shouldn't have said that the party is not sticking to their own constitution?
So, why can he say that the party is working on the constitution? The party has a rotation clause in this contract, and the party is working in that direction. So I don't know where that is coming from. So for me, as far as I know, if you are no more comfortable with where you are, be bold enough to say I'm no more there. A lot of news, a lot of information have been going out about Governor Fayose, that is this, is here, is that, and you see him tilting towards to that
but
side.
I thought you said it's a democracy. Your party, they got free speech. Anybody is allowed to express their opinion. We have
never stopped him from saying it. But as a party, as a leader that he is, he should be more responsible.
So the party lost Ekiti. They were not even second. They were third. And now Osun is on the way. If the party loses Osun, isn't that the beginning of the end?
The party is not going to lose Osun State. I can tell you that the party is not going to lose Osun State. See all this. Forget all this thing that you are saying. The party is working well in Osun. Ekiti was unfortunate, and then a lot of that losses was accredited to Governor Fayose's mishandling of the matter. But that has passed. We can't reverse that anymore. But for Osun State, we are going there with a lot of strength and vigor, and by the grace of God, we are going to win Osun State.
So we should expect those 11 governors who were not present to be flanked by your principal as a flag off for that campaign?
Hopefully, I expect them. Those of them that are around will certainly be there. It's for the party. It's not about an individual. However badly you feel about a situation, the bigger goal, the overall objective must overshadow your own personal interest. And I think that is what is happening. For me, Governor Wike, let me tell you something. Governor Wike, hate him or like him, is an access to this party. And the party will do everything humanly possible to make sure that he stays within the party. The party has done a lot for him. Equally, he has invested in the party. The party has given him chance as party chairman to minister, to chief of staff, to minister, to governor. So where does he want to go? That play anywhere outside PDP is not in his best interest, and it's not in the best interest of this country. So
All right.
we have no problem with that.
Okay, Fabi Oladimeji, Director, Support Group and Event Technical Committee, Atiku for President 2023. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much.